Hello, class. I hope you're having a good day. Following on from our introduction to the components of an argument, today we will move on to the opposite side of an argument. We call this a counter-argument. But before we start the new lesson, as usual, let's review what we've been talking about so far. What is an argument? An argument consists of a claim, reasons, and evidence. As we have mentioned in the previous lessons, good reasons and evidence should support any claim we make. Together, they can contribute to making an argument strong. We've also seen that reasons and evidence add weight to a claim, and that a claim without reasons and evidence is a weak argument. We've also learned that relevance is an important criterion in evaluating a reason. Evidence, on the other hand, has to be both relevant and credible. Now we move on to our introduction to argumentation. Imagine that an authentic question is like a scale that needs to be balanced. On one side is a claim made by one student with several reasons and pieces of evidence provided. As we mentioned previously, reasons and evidence add weight to an argument. A well-developed argument, therefore, is heavy and tilts the scale. What should we do to balance the scale? Let's watch a video to find out more.
Today we are going to talk about arguments and counter-arguments.
In this example, we are going to pretend that the arguments are animals.
The important part is thinking about how strong the animals are. Let's watch the koala bear. It is pretty small. But watch what happens when I put it on the scale. Look. The scale went down on that side because of the koala bear's weight. If we think of this like an argument, the side of the argument is stronger than the other side.
But what happens when we introduce a counter-argument? This dog is very strong. Imagine he is a very strong counter-argument. What will happen when he gets on the scale? This dog is much stronger than the koala bear. So, in this example, if the counter-argument is stronger than the argument, that side of the scale will go down. And that is exactly what happens here. See?
But that isn't the end. Sometimes, you might be able to think about another argument that is stronger. Here, a polar bear comes over to see what is going on. Imagine this polar bear is on the side of the argument. Would the scale change its balance if he jumped onto the argument side with the koala bear? Which side will be stronger?
Yes, because the polar bear in addition to the koala bear are heavier than just a dog. That makes the argument stronger than the counter-argument. See how the scale changed? In your discussions, you may think of several different arguments to support your position. Other people in the discussion may offer several counter-arguments too. In quality talk, it is important for everyone to think carefully about which side of the argument weighs the most. It is okay to switch positions if the other side becomes stronger.
So, what exactly is a counter-argument? When we discuss a question, we have our own opinion and we make an argument to express this opinion. When we make an argument, other people might not agree with us. They may hold different opinions. When a person makes a different argument that disagrees with ours, we call it a counter-argument. A counter-argument challenges our claim and is usually supported by reasons and evidence. Let's see how an argument and a counter-argument contribute to a discussion.
Hi everybody, today we are discussing the question, do you think people should be honest all of the time? Here, Mia is going to start the discussion with her argument. Then Gavin is going to challenge Mia's argument with a counter-argument. Let's listen to what they have to say.
I think it is important to always be honest.
Why do you think so, Mia?
Because being honest will help you make more friends.
How do you know that?
People like to be friends with people who always tell the truth. What do you think, Gavin?
I don't think so because sometimes telling the truth can hurt people's feelings. One time I gave my sister a birthday present, but she told me she didn't like it. It hurt my feelings.
Have you correctly identified the claim, reason, and evidence in Mia's argument and Gavin's counter-argument?
In the video, Mia and Gavin are talking about the issue of whether people should be honest all of the time. Both Mia and Gavin express their opinions on the issue. Could you identify the claims, reasons, and evidence in Mia's argument and Gavin's counter-argument? Let's watch the conversation again and see if you can identify the claims, reasons, and evidence in Mia's argument and Gavin's counter-argument.
Let's watch the conversation again and see if you could identify the claim, reason, and evidence in Mia's argument and Gavin's counter-argument.
I think it is important to always be honest.
Yes. This is Mia's claim.
Why do you think so, Mia?
Because being honest will help you make more friends.
This is Mia's reason, and it supports her claim.
How do you know that?
People like to be friends with people who always tell the truth. What do you think, Gavin?
Here is Mia's evidence. She is using evidence from her own thinking.
I don't think so because sometimes telling the truth can hurt people's feelings. One time I gave my sister a birthday present, but she told me she didn't like it. It hurt my feelings.
What Gavin said is a counter-argument against Mia's argument. His counter-argument has a claim, a reason, and evidence, and his evidence is from personal experience.
Have you correctly identified the claim, reason, and evidence in Mia's argument and Gavin's counter-argument?
Have you correctly identified the claims, reasons, and evidence in Mia's argument and Gavin's counter-argument? What do an argument and a counter-argument have in common? Are they similar? An argument is composed of a claim, reasons, and evidence. What about a counter-argument? Just as an argument has three components, a claim, reasons, and evidence, a counter-argument is composed of a counterclaim, reasons, and evidence. Now, let's put all these pieces of information together. On the question, should people be honest all of the time, Mia and Gavin have different opinions, so they have different arguments. Mia thinks that it is important to always be honest. Her reason is that being honest will help us make more friends. She knows this based on her own thinking that people like to make friends with honest people. On the other hand, Gavin disagrees with Mia. He proposes a counter-argument to the discussion question. His reason is that sometimes telling the truth can hurt people's feelings. Gavin knows this according to his own personal experience. He once gave his sister a birthday present, but his sister told him honestly that she didn't like the present. Her honesty hurt Gavin. From Mia's argument and Gavin's counter-argument, we see how an argument and a counter-argument build up a quality discussion of a question. Knowing that someone may disagree with what we say may sometimes make us feel uncomfortable. Yet, knowing this actually can help us to make better claims. How does that work? When we come up with a claim, we can challenge ourselves and examine our claim by thinking of a counter-argument of our own. When we come up with an argument and a counter-argument, we can ask ourselves, how might someone disagree with our argument? By asking and answering this question on our own, we can think ahead and explore different arguments. We can make our arguments stronger. Then we can even decide whether we need to change our opinion. Let's take a look at another example. Here is a question for discussion. Is it okay to re-gift a present? If we get a present but we give this present away as a gift to another person, then we re-gift a present. To discuss the question, is it okay to re-gift a present? We can first come up with the two opposite claims on our own. Is it okay to re-gift a present? And is it not okay to re-gift a present? Second, we give each claim a relevant reason. We can start our reasons with the word because. Maybe we think it is okay to re-gift a present because sometimes we get a gift we already have, and it is a waste to keep an unwanted gift. As for the counter-argument, it is not okay to re-gift a present because we might upset the person who gave it to us. Last, we think of relevant and credible evidence for the reasons. It is okay to re-gift a present because sometimes we get a gift we already have, and it is a waste to keep an unwanted gift. How do we know? We can provide evidence. My mom told me that. For the counterclaim, it is not okay to re-gift a present because we might upset the person who gave us the gift. We can also provide evidence based on our own experience. My sister got mad when she found out I re-gifted the present she gave me to a friend. By outlining an argument, a counter-argument, and their respective reasons and evidence, we have a better picture of the issue we want to discuss. A strong argument has a claim, relevant reasons, and connected and credible evidence. A strong counter-argument should also have these three components. Let's examine Mia and Gavin's discussion on the question, do you think people should be honest all of the time, to see whether both the argument and the counter-argument are strong. To argue for the claim that it is important to always be honest, Mia provides a reason that being honest helps us make more friends. She also provides evidence of her own thinking that people like to be friends with people who always tell the truth. To disagree with Mia, Gavin reasons that sometimes telling the truth can hurt people's feelings. His evidence comes from his own experience. Once he gave his sister a birthday present, but she told Gavin she didn't like it. This hurt Gavin's feelings. Are the reasons and evidence sufficient to support the respective claims Mia and Gavin have made? First of all, Mia's reason, being honest will help you make more friends, is strongly connected to her claim. Besides, her evidence, people like to be friends with people who always tell the truth, supports her reason. We can say that Mia has a strong argument. Let's move on to Gavin's counter-argument. Gavin disagrees with Mia's claim. His reason about hurting one's feelings is connected to his counterclaim. Then he uses his personal experience as credible evidence of how he knows that sometimes telling the truth can hurt people's feelings. We can say that Gavin has a strong counter-argument. A well-developed discussion is like a well-balanced scale. and a well-balanced scale relies on an equally strong argument and counter-argument. Let's look at another example. The question for discussion is, do you think people should be honest all of the time? One argument contends that it is important to be always honest, because being honest will help us make more friends. How so? People like to be friends with people who always tell the truth. A counter-argument disagrees that people should be honest all of the time because people like surprises. The reason is supported by his or her personal experience. Once, the student's father gave him or her a birthday present, and the student loved it. Do the evidence and the reasons contribute to making the argument and counter-argument strong? The argument is a strong one because the claim is well supported by a relevant reason and logical and credible evidence. In contrast, the counter-argument is not strong because the reason provided has little to do with the counterclaim. Imagine that there is another counterclaim on the right side of the scale. The counterclaim does not agree that people should be honest all of the time because sometimes telling the truth can hurt people's feelings. How so? A teacher said that a good student should always tell the truth. Is the reason relevant to the counterclaim? Is the evidence credible and connected to the reason? The reason that the truth sometimes hurts is relevant to the counter-argument. However, the evidence contradicts the reason and the counterclaim. Therefore, the evidence does not help to make the counter-argument stronger. Now we have one strong argument on one side of the scale and two weak counter-arguments on the other side. Which side do you think is heavier? Because the two counterclaims are not well supported, the inappropriate reasons and evidence add no weight to the counter-argument. Therefore, the argument side is stronger and heavier. Let's go back to the regifting example. On the left side of the scale is the claim. The claim suggests that it is not okay to regift a present because the person who gave it to you might get upset. The reason, however, is a quote from a movie star. On the right side of the scale is the counter-argument. The counterclaim says that it is okay to regift a present because most people today don't care if we regift something. The reason is taken from an article in the Wall Street Journal. Are the argument and counter-argument strong and well supported? As usual, we start from the left side of the scale. The reason the person who gave it to you might get upset connects to the claim. So it adds some weight to the claim. However, the fact that the reason is a quote from a movie star makes the evidence less credible. Therefore, it doesn't add any weight to the argument. On the right side of the scale, we see the counterclaim. The reason most people today don't care if you regift something connects to the counterclaim. And it adds some weight to this side of the scale. The fact that the reason is taken from an article in the Wall Street Journal adds more weight to this side of the scale. So, which side is stronger? That's right. The counter-argument side is stronger and heavier.